the frustration of that first tee shot. Why is it just 5 minutes earlier we could do it on the range, but we can't do it here? In this video, I'm gonna go ahead and break down the 3 things that are stopping you from taking your range game to the first tee. So I've snagged Bill here. Bill, welcome to the lion's den, as they say. So what we're gonna do today is we're just gonna take Bill through how to get warmed up before the first tee. So many of us, right, Bill, what's your experience? How do you get on that first tee? Do you do great on the first tee, or do you find that you struggle sometimes?
Well, sometimes struggle.
Yeah. It's a little different. Right, here we are. Let's see a look over there, Fonz. How far away is it? It's what, turn the camera? Maybe 50 yards, right? And so often we go from here hitting it pretty darn good to over there hitting it terrible, right? So what I wanted to do today was just go through what I would see to be like a basic routine of what to do on how to warm up, and I would say less than 15 minutes to be ready to go and play, okay?
Really?
So let's start off with a wedge, okay? And I think the biggest thing, Bill, that I see from people is when they're warming up, they're way too concerned about where this goes, right? And so to me, the first thing that I would ask you to do is just warm up by just making moves, just very simple moves back and forward, right? A lot of people do static stretching, right? They'll be like this, they'll do this, which is great, but yeah, but it really doesn't warm your body up to play golf. So what I'd like to see is, if you would just go ahead and take this and just move your body and never let the club stop, and just allow it to get a little bit longer each time, and just start to feel everything moving. Does that make sense? So yeah, let's just dive in and make some swings. Back and forward, yep. There you go. And then a little bit more length, and feel the footwork. Feel your feet warming up, right? A little bit further, let the feet work. Really get the feet working, okay? I know you might not have that in a golf swing, but you've got to start to get the body doing that, right? Good. So to me, that's the first part, right? Is just a dynamic warm-up. I know people could say go through 10 minutes of stretching. Most people I coach run to the first tee out of their car. So if they make it to the driving range, it's amazing. So the second thing that I want you to do, right, is I want you to go ahead, and people start to focus so much on where the ball's going, right? But for me, it's the body, where the body's moving, right? So what I want you to do is, no matter how badly or good you hit it, I want you to just go ahead and swing through and hold the finish, and just start to train your body to feel that movement, right? Because so often we'll hit one left and it's like, oh, what am I doing? And we're almost starting to get into correction, instead of just like, well, the body's nowhere close to warm up yet. It's just made a few golf swings, right? So let's just go ahead and see this. And all I'm looking for is a balanced finish. And we're going to do this just 3 shots, just a balanced finish with 3 shots. No. So look. So you see, and that was perfect. Bill did that intentionally here.
That's right.
You snag back to hit another golf ball. I'm just saying this. No. I
stay there.
Stay there and just let your body start to feel the follow through, because I don't expect you to hit it good because you haven't warmed up yet. Do you know what I'm saying? So we're too eager to have a good shot or a bad shot, rather than just like, no, well, I don't expect it to be good. My body's got to warm up. Okay, so let's see another one. Just all the way through the finish, hold that finish. Hold the finish, hold the finish, hold the finish. So do you feel your legs shaking right there? That's your proprioceptors getting the balance, right? What so many of us will do though, we're out here working the brain. What am I doing? How do I turn my shoulders? We're not warming ourselves up. We're warming our thinking up. So I want you to just go ahead again, 2 more now, all the way through the finish, balance finish, feel the body swing through, okay? Hold the finish, hold the finish, hold the finish, hold the finish, hold the finish. Okay. Yeah. But so what'll often happen as a 15 handicap, right? It'll be you become so focused on trying to hit the ball. A lot of my students say, well, I don't even warm up because I'll hit some bad shots and be so pissed off by the first tee box. Right. And I'm like, well, that's not good. So what I want to show you now is, I want you to just now, so we've had 3 to 4 swings. So literally 30 seconds of swinging the club, 3 or 4 swings with balance. Now what I want you to do is I want you to feel a little bit of calibration. So where are you hitting the ball right now? What do you feel on those last? Fat. So here's what I want you to do. Without thinking, right, of how I'm going to do it, all I want you to do is go ahead and swing through the balance finish, and I want you to hit halfway up the ball. So I want you to thin it. I want you to catch it super thin. So you're going to make a swing all the way through the finish, and you're going to try and thin the golf ball, okay? Great. So what part of the golf ball will you hit? Top. The top. So we actually changed from 2 inches behind it to 1.5 inches on top of it, right? So now, same again, what we're gonna do is we're gonna try and hit bottom of the golf ball this time, because we calibrated, over-calibrated on that last one. Beautiful, and there's a sweet, sweet strike. So this is where, Bill, what most, yeah, it felt really good, right? So this is what I find most amateurs do. They come to the driving range, they start to hit and go, oh, why am I chunking it? Oh, I probably need to put my weight back, or I need to work on this. And what they do is they light up the left side of their brain, so the thinking side. And then they get on the golf course, and they think and they think and they think and they try and they try and they try. And the front 9, they suck. And on the back 9, they go, I just don't care anymore, and shoot 41.
Right.
You've had that experience?
Exactly.
So what we're doing in our warm-up is we're trying to think how to fix it instead of feel how to fix it. So what I had you do there was very simply is if you're hitting behind the ball, hit above the ball. If you're hitting above the ball, hit below the ball. If you're hitting it left, hit it right. So as we go down to now to an 8 iron and we start to warm up a little bit longer, is I want you to go ahead and we're gonna just swing, you know, our target's pretty much between that 100 and 150, right? The direction wise. And I just want you to go ahead and swing and let's see where the ball goes. Again, thinking about hitting it slightly thin is the feeling, with great balance through the finish. Hold the finish, hold the finish, hold the finish. Very nice. So what you might find today is, for me, it's very wet out, right? For me to hit it solid, I actually need to feel like I'm going to thin it.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? Because if I, you know, well, let's put it this way. I'm shooting a gun, right? And I'm trying to hit here and I hit and it hits 10 feet left. Well, either I can complain about the gun or I can go ahead and set the scope 10 feet right so it calibrates. So much more of a feel than a thought. Does that resonate?
Yeah.
Okay.
Totally.
So what we're going to do now, we're going to hit one more of these. Again, feeling that slightly thin feeling.
Target?
Nope, no target yet. No target yet. No. Very nice. Okay, now what would your favorite hybrid be if we were to go down to, is it this one? Is it this one? This one right here? Okay, perfect.
It's a 7.
7. So 7 hybrid. We're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to do the same exact thing. We're just going to go ahead, swing through with balance. Beautiful golf swing. You're striking it better than a 15 handicap, I'll tell you that, okay? All right, driver or 3-wood? What do you hit off the tee?
Driver.
Okay. Did I hear you say your daughter bought you a driver?
Yeah.
Oh, what the best daughter on the planet right there. Okay, so same again. We're just going to make a swing all the way through to a balanced finish. Hold the finish, hold the finish, hold the finish. Beautiful. Okay, now, what I would now say is the physical side of the warm-up is now over. And what most people do is they hit another driver, and then another driver, and then another driver, and another driver. And what they start to do is train for a marathon by practicing for a sprint. Whereas what we need to do now is like you'd have to say that your body's feeling pretty warmed up, right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so now what we've got to do is we now need to go ahead and say, okay, well, we just hit driver off the first tee. If we hit that driver off the first tee, where are you at Empire Ranch on the first hole?
I'm about 100 yards out, 90 yards out.
Okay, for which tees do you play? At the top of the hill, so about 120. So 120, so let's go ahead and say 125. That green pole right there, yeah. We're up a little bit, so it's probably 110. So what's your 110 club?
Pitching wedge. Pitching wedge,
okay. Your target is now the green flag over there, that green post, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now, on the golf course, because we're off of a mat, and this is what I hear people say all the time, they'll tell me, Will, I hate mats. Well, the reason why we hate mats is we hit a shot like that and say, oh, that wasn't bad. Whereas we know that was a chunk. That was a chunk, do you know what I'm saying? So that's going to go 70 yards, right? So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to try and land it on that 50-yard line, on that 50-yard, yeah, right there. What would you hit?
56.
56. So remember, what we've got to do is not get lazy on the mat, but get honest on the mat, right? If we hit it chunk, that's what it is. So let's try and fly it right on there, go through that process.
Now this is my nemesis.
Okay.
By the way.
Yeah.
I've got a real problem with my pitching. And
all I want to see is you follow through to the finish. Just follow through to the finish. So do your rehearsal and then follow through. Good. Now that would definitely be on the green, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so good, we hit the green, right. So what we're starting to do here is we're trying to warm up our scoring, our physiology, our whole emotions of, I thinned one. Oh, yeah, 2-putt and get over it. It doesn't matter. You made a 5. Right, next hole's par 5. There's trouble on the right. There's trouble on the left. Here's your, what most of us are doing, we're just repeating golf shots, and then we get up there and go, now hit the most important shot of the day, the first tee shot. Instead of, no, I've already hit the first tee shot. I hit it great. I hit it down the left center. So what we're going to do now is we're going to say the white post is the left side of the fairway. The blue post is the right side of the fairway. We want to hit it straight down there. We're on the par 5. So look what we're doing here. We're slowing everything down. We're hitting different targets with different clubs, different shot shapes. If you hit one in the left, you have to pitch one out. If you hit a short one, hit a chip on. Like, you need to start to take the golf course, right? Yeah. To here. So it was 5 minutes most to warm up, right? If not 3. And now I would spend 5 minutes just going through this. So maybe then let's think about some of the holes. The 8th hole, the par 3. Right, it's about 150. So it's a little bit forward. It's 140, right over the top of the white post. So what would you hit 140?
8 iron.
8 iron, okay, great.
But that plays kind of deceptively long.
Yeah, so you want to play 7? Play 7, I like it. Okay, so what you're doing here is now just playing those shots that you know you're going to have on the golf course. Yeah. So as we get ready to go to the first tee, everything's slowed down because, you know, it's going to take 15 minutes to play a hole. And if we're hitting 10 drivers in a row, it's just not going to help us with the one drive we get to hit. Simple concept, right? Fantastic. Yeah. So we're now 10 to 12 minutes in. All I would do now is I'm going to grab your putter, I'm going to grab your wedge, and we obviously would drive up to that. You have to click it out. I'm going to let you, there you go, right there. Click that out. We're going to take your sand wedge, and we're going to take 1 golf ball. Not 3, but 1. So we're going to take 1 nice golf ball. You're 56. We'll leave these here. They'll be fine.
Oh, you want a nice golf ball?
Yeah, let's use a nice one. So it's like, how do we go from range session to first tee? Well, we don't make it a range session, we make it a warm-up. If I hit 55 7-irons in a row well, nothing is going to happen good on the golf course because I won't ever hit 2 7-irons in a row, let alone 55 of them, you know what I mean? All right, so the first thing we're going to do, we're going to come over here, we're going to have 1 golf ball. Because again, we're about to get on the golf course. On the golf course, we're going to have 1 shot, we're going to have expectations, we're going to have tension. And if you leave this one right here or hit it over, you've got to go and find it and play it again. But what most people want to do is throw another one down. And again, that's a training session. That's not a warm-up session. So the idea here is we're just going to go ahead and try and chip one onto this hole right here. Okay. We're going to go right there. Cross-handed, whichever way you want to do it, but I want you to do is a couple nice rehearsals, see the shot, wherever it ends up, the ball will end up in the hole, okay? We're going to putt the ball out from wherever it goes. Beautiful. Beautiful, very nice. Now,
way too hard.
Yeah, but it's too hard, but here's the big thing is, now you've got a putter in your hand, and you've got to finish it out. So whatever routine you go through on the golf course, I want you to go through now. Because again, it's downhill, it's extremely quick. If you, 100%, I would putt it too. It's downhill, super quick. So yeah, let's see it to that hole right there. So whatever you do, would you read it? Would you have a couple practice strokes?
No, I'd read it. I'd be on the other side seeing.
Yep, so let's do it. Because we've got to get ready. We're about to go and tee off, right? So the idea here is that we've got to slow down and go, okay, I want to see the break from this side. Yeah.
Uphill, downhill.
Yeah, do you see what I'm saying? Whereas most of us will hit 4 putts like this on the putting green and then head straight to the first tee. And I'm like, well, you didn't warm up. You just hit a few putts. Like that's not getting you ready for a tournament, right? So go ahead and take a look. Very nice. That's okay. But again, but again, that happens on the first hole, right? Happens on the golf course. So now go through your routine, go ahead and make the next one. We're looking for you to slow down and actually play for score rather than just hit shots to judge distance and pace. Yeah. Okay, so go through your routine. Would you mark it? Would you put a line on it? Like whatever you do on the golf course?
Yeah.
Yep. So you see how when we warm up, we're in such a rush to go ahead and actually just hit the shot. Yeah. Whereas what we need to do is get ourselves disciplined. So by the time we're on the first tee, we've already played golf for the last 15 minutes, right? Rather than like, oh, now it's serious. No, this is serious. Let's roll it in, you know? Yeah. Very nice. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and hit 1 more putt, you know? And again, if you were here and you had a few minutes and they're waiting, maybe hit 3 or 4 putts, but you're going through full routine and finishing it out. That's how you're going to learn the pace. So let's go ahead and roll this one in. Very nice, that's fine. All right, now the last thing I want you to do, you're always going to finish off with a 4-foot putt. So just like this, you're going to line it up, go through your routine, make a 4-footer.
This is just something new. I'm just, you know, looking at the whole.
Yeah, I love it. Very nice. So let's grab that one out. So to me, what you've now done, as we said, right, you've gone on the range, you've warmed up your body, right? You've got your body warmed up, then you've gone actually and hit shots, warmed up what I would call your emotional muscle, you know, to go out there and actually compete and oh, it wasn't good and change that, and what have I got to do to calibrate? Then I've come over here, I've hit a chip, had to then hit it back down the hill, then I've hit a putt, I've had to make it, have to make the putt. Now you've slowed down, you're in a rhythm to actually go and tee off on the first hole. Make sense?
Yeah.
Right? It's just people don't warm up the right way, and most people tell me, well, I don't bother warming up, it just doesn't help. I'm like, I know it doesn't, because what you're doing is warming up for 110 meter hurdles with spikes on and showing up to the first tee of the Boston Marathon and being like, I don't know why it didn't work. It's like, because that and this is two completely different things. So the key to having success off that first tee is making sure you're warming up the right way. If you want more videos like this, be sure to like, subscribe, and get to watch all the stuff that we're doing with the scoring method. Look forward to creating more content that will help you play the golf of your dreams.